right.
These guys don't really need an introduction. You may have seen this guy at whatever that show, the Pawn Stars.
Yes.
The other collector show.
Storage Wars.
Shipping Wars.
Storage Wars.
Brian CANO, Chris MANCUSO from Scare. Thanks.
Coming, even though there's a bunch of us here, this is considered an intimate gathering. As far as urban exploration goes, I want to thank John and Kathy and the entire GHH team, and especially Tim. Thank you for letting us in here and hosting us. Like he said, this is a urban explorer's dream, and the thing about this, the dream is slowly fading. Look on the wall here, it once said, Byberry lives. Now Byberry, also known as Philadelphia State Hospital, just south of here, used to be another institution, which is now being turned into condos. Denver's mental institution is now condos. You know, places like this all over the country are being torn down and converted into very domestic places, and the people who move in there have no idea what happened. So from a paranormal aspect, that's great for us because they could be like, hey, all this stuff is happening, you've got to come check it out. But now look, Byberry is dead. These places are disappearing.
Now, let me ask a question. How many people, raise your hand, know what urban exploration is?
Oh.
You. Oh, good. How many people have really no idea what it is? So we're afraid. Okay. Well, good. We can kind of lay out some information with these people. All right.
Well, let's simple the question. Okay. Now, I see a lot of familiar faces here before some existing friends and some new friends. So thank you guys for coming. And for you new guys, try not to answer this question because you know the answer. How many of you guys watch Ghost Hunters?
Yep.
Ghost Adventures? Yep. Pawn Stars? I figured I'd throw a random one in there. All right, there's a show on TV currently on right now about urban exploration. Who can tell me what it is? Not you.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Urban exploration. Any guesses? Guesses. It's been on for a very long time, at least 30 years. No. I'll give you hints.
Sesame Street?
No. You know the answer to this. It's got a team, a group of sorts.
Sewers.
Kids. What?
Sewers and stuff like
yes! Scooby-Doo!
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo is urban exploration. It's paranormal investigation at its most basic. Why? Because they hop in the van, they hear a rumor, they show up, they get out, hey, we're here. And usually it ends up with an old guy in a rubber mask.
But did you see like Shaggy and Scooby walking around with EMF detectors and audio record? No, it's just like, hey, they got the bigger piece of equipment is a flashlight.
And a sandwich, which is very important. Very important. When we started this, I mean, pretty much for our entire lifetime, we've been crawling around in the dark looking for answers. Officially, we've been doing it since 2002 when we started making documentaries about the subject. Now, when we first started, the genesis of it was to look for evidence of spirit activity. We grew up on Staten Island, New York, and there was lots of rumors about all these abandoned places that were there. You know, we would hear about ghosts, we would hear about murderous monks who drag bodies 10 sublevels below. And we figured, you know what? If these places are as haunted as everyone says they are, it should be pretty easy just to go in there with a camera and your 5 or 6 senses and have an experience.
And that's kind of how we started out. We really didn't know much about the paranormal, but enough people around the island, and I'm sure everybody, wherever you're from, you have that at least one building that people whisper about at night. Oh yeah, don't go to a crazy old man, you know, this guy's out.
Satanists.
You know, they're Satanists and there's devil worship over here. Really? Let's go find it.
Typically what we found, and especially in Byberry, kids. Kids with party cups, kids with alcohol, kids who light fires, kids who smoke pot. All great things, but you kind of don't do it in these settings. And for the most part, you know, you look at the way we're dressed, we've kind of adapted to a security type thing, because when we go into these places, invariably we will come across a group of kids, usually 3 guys, a giggling girl, and wearing flip-flops, and she's not, I just and we would stand there with a camera, and we would hear them coming down the hallway. Oh my God, this is so scary.
The security cop.
So scary. And we would stand there and we'd be like, You've been drinking, ma'am? And, you know, these kids would be scared, but they would see us as authority figures. And anytime security did see us on the premises, they're like, hey, what are you guys doing here? Oh, well, we're filming a documentary. Oh, okay, just don't hurt yourselves. You know, fine. But for the most part, a lot of times, and from what I've seen so far, Pennhurst is beautifully preserved. Library was a mess. Party cups everywhere, you know, destruction, decay. And a lot of what urban exploration is appreciating the beauty in decay. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of architecture, I mean, especially Danvers. I mean, just look up at the architecture, maybe not in this room, but as you're going across, like look on the outsides of the building. There are these tiles that are just beautifully crafted. Someone had to make these, someone put time into this. A lot of times it was the residents of the institutions that, you know, this is their home. They want to take care of it, they want to beautify it. Vandalism often takes that away.
And whereas I'm sure a bunch of people have been on standard paranormal investigations, Lizzie Borden's some bed and breakfast. Yeah. It's a nice place where you can sit down and relax and watch your monitors and, you know, maybe go into the kitchen on your audio recorder, grab a bite to eat. Urban exploration is basically paranormal investigation on the move. And while paranormal investigating, we all know, let's not kid ourselves, it can get downright boring at times because, oh, I've been sitting in this room for 4 hours and nothing happened. Urban exploration, you're moving. There's always, even if there's nothing paranormal going on, there's always something to look at, something to see. And when stuff does happen, it just makes it that much more intense.
So tonight we are going to have a full measure of paranormal investigations. We've got gadgets, we've got gear. We're going to satisfy that need. But one of the things that really excited us, and especially because Tim has been so great to open the Devon building for us, we are going to get our urban exploration chops wet, especially for the newbies out here who haven't really done this in that aspect. For years, Chris and I have been on the lecture circuit doing something what we call the Urban Explorer's Backpack. It's what you need in your backpack to do this. What are the necessities? And even though it's called the Urban Explorer's Backpack, about 10 minutes in, the lecture name changes to do as we say, not as we do. Because we've made all the mistakes. We've done all the stupid things that you're not supposed to do. So today, when we do go into that new building, we do have some things for sale that will help. And like Tim said, and John said, they have respirators, breathing masks. Caution is advised. You know, one night here isn't going to kill you. You're not going to get asbestosis, but you know, you might go home with a sore throat if you breathe in too much dust. So I always like to err on the side of caution, and I'm old enough that I can't sacrifice any more days.
and if you do plan on doing urban exploration outside of places like this has been cleared of asbestos, a lot of them have not. And like he said, we made the mistakes of, hey, let's just go investigate this building. Oh, what are all these white fibers in the air?
But on the bright side, we will never spontaneously combust.
That's right. We have a nice handout for you guys.
It's nice.
It's very nice. It's double-sided, okay? It's not in color, though, because we're poor.
We're cheap.
Well, make it sound better, but okay.
Oh, sorry.
But everybody just pick one up, you know, before we go, and you know, feel free to look at it, some good tips and things that we might not cover, you know.
This was previously printed in Haunted Times magazine a couple of years ago, and I mean, urban exploration hasn't changed. There's been no advances in it, so it is what it is. It's very much like camping. For those of you who have been, who are avid campers or hikers, so a lot of the things that we'll say will seem like common sense, but then there's some basic things that sometimes even we forget. So.
And look right here. What's it say in bold letters? There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. Okay? We may have crossed the line a couple times, but we're going to beseech you guys not to.
We're done.
Do as we say, not as we do.
So, should we keep going? Should we run? Whatever you guys want to do. Yeah, you guys want to sing a song or something?
We can talk about this stuff for like hours. But we're here for you guys. So you guys want to get moving with that.
We're going to do a little Q&A if you guys have some questions.
Yeah, have questions?
And pretty much all weekend, all the entirety that we're here, you know, if we're saying something, we want this to be a conversation. We don't want to lecture. So anytime you have a question or anytime you go into the building, you find us, you're like, Brian, I don't know what's happening. Just feel free to take us aside and ask whatever.
And haunted collectors does not exist. This is scary. Damn it!
This is deep.
Well,
Haunted what?
this is why he got. Haunted collector.
Yes, this is, well, for those, how many of you watch Haunted Collector? Be honest.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
First of all, thank you. And second of all, this is why I get sent under buildings, into crawl spaces while Jason and Jesselyn get to look nice and be fine and
Yeah.
look at the monitors and I'm like, hi John, look what I found. This is because this is actually what we do. And it's not like I could ever tell John Zappis, yeah John, I don't do that.
I never did that.
I never did that.
But-
The proof is in DVDs on our table, so.
What you've done is DVD about the world within.
Yes,
That was
for those
awesome.
of you Haunted Collector fans who are unaware, we produced a documentary several years ago about John Zappis' life. It's called John Zappis, The World Within, a month in the life of a demonologist. And if you're a fan of the show, this is kind of like the prequel to it. You get to see John's life, what he does, his demonology. You get to see inside the museum, a better look. She's holding me up there now, thank you, Vanna. And for those of you who have questions, like, this is a documentary that really lets you see what John does. So it clears up a lot of the things that, unfortunately, network TV doesn't have the time or the inclination to get into. And we literally spent a month with John. We lived in his house. When he got
Cooked
up
this
in the
macaroni
morning,
and cheese.
when he got up in the morning,
Is he a good cook?
he's in the kitchen, make his coffee in his, pink robe on there with the camera. It's an interesting look for those of you who are fans of Haunted Collector.
Did you actually assist him in some investigations during that time?
We shadowed him for everything that he did. Even though we've been friends for a long time, for this one, it was about John, and we were flies on the wall.
We were paranormal investigators, and then we were filmmakers.
Although we do cameo in the scene.
Yeah, we do cameo on the scene, which is okay.
It's all right. Some shoddy acting.
And like we said, we're here for you guys. This is all about your experience.